Right, welcome back. And to highlight the file of tourism and promoting and propagating Egypt on the tourism arena, we have with us Mr. Alaa Khalifa, Tourism and Marketing International Expert. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
The pleasure is always ours. And let me take it from here. Egypt, is it really returning back?
Yes. Fortunately for us, the pandemic is over, the crisis is over, tourism is coming back, and the occupancy rates are increasing. We're getting there, back to 2019.
Back to 2019.
Because
it was, yes, indeed. It was the peak there,
yes,
before the coronavirus and the war.
Yes.
Let me here take it from the World Economic Forum Travel and Tourism Development Index, where it ranked Egypt first in Africa, fifth in the Middle East, North and North Africa, and 51 or 51st place globally in 2021. But we've just seen some of the other reports putting Egypt on 4 of the most tourism destinations worldwide.
Yes, that's true.
For 2023.
That's true. We're still in the bucket list for a lot of people. And since the world has not been able to travel around because of the closures and the restrictions, because of the COVID-19 restrictions, lots of people haven't had their opportunity to travel around the world, and so many destinations were put in the bucket list, I think. And Egypt is not far from theirs. We do have the right weather, we have the right historical places, archaeological sites, and I think it is one of these countries that it's always in the main list for any potential traveler.
If we say that there is a return back, to which reasons do we attribute that? I mean, yeah, there has been lots of campaigns.
Yes.
And
it is not a direct impact of a campaign. Let me tell you this: it's a direct impact of the fact that people have been restrained from traveling for a very long time. So when you stay at home for a very long time, and even in your neighborhood, at some point you need to travel. You need to have a getaway, and this is the getaway for the rest of the world. So since we are among the top 10 destinations around the world, I won't say that the most populous destination in terms of number of tourists, but since we are among these top destinations that people want to go and come and visit and experience this country because of its culture, because of its exotic, history that it represents, because of its people, because of the good positive news that they've always hearing about this destination. Lots of people keep Egypt, and because the fact that they study Egyptian history in school when they're young. So lots of people put it as one of the destinations they must see. Because of the pandemic, lots of people haven't had the chance to travel, so that's why when things eased up, became a popular destination. We start to have a flux of tourists coming back. Because of the war also in the Ukraine, it did affect us in a way, and also it did benefit us in a different way. It affected us economically, badly. It affected us at the fact that we've lost a flow of tourists that are coming from both countries. However, that a few months later, we've seen a dramatic shift from the way how Russian travelers are going diverting from going into Europe into the Red Sea back again, because of the restrictions that Europe's have imposed on their visas, their entry visas to Europe. However, we have seen also a dramatic increase from some of the other destinations they used to go, basically in our areas such as European destinations, because of the energy crisis we have. So we are still having the sun to sell. So all of these reasons put together made it a perfect destination. The fact that the destination is affordable for a lot of people made a lot of people spend a longer time this time.
Difference in currency, and how is that a kind of opportunity?
You mean the devaluation of the pound, did it help? It did help in a way, but for the short run, but it's not for the long run, because then when you have a devaluation of a currency, it creates inflation. And when you have an inflation, it's just the price is as much as, so it is not really a benefit for a lot of tourists. But international tourism is very vital. It's very vital for the economy. It's very vital for the for us today to balance out, you know, the power, give power to the pound. And it's extremely important to bring our currency into this country. And so the more we're welcoming tourists, the more large number of people come here and do their expenditures in US dollars, the more resources we have, and the more economy can really stabilize us.
If I may ask, at this very particular time, yes, indeed, tourism is very important.
It is.
Tourism is one of the very few sectors that is a surely
100%.
Source of foreign currency to the country. How and what kind of efforts are we doing in order to support tourism for tourism to get back?
Well, I'll quote something that the Prime Minister said like 1 week ago. He said, for those working in tourism sector, for those investors working in tourism sector, all what you need to do is to dream. So he simply put a mandate for everyone, just let me know what you need and I'll do it. This is a strong belief in this state that tourism is a very important industry. With tourism development, we'll be able to overcome lots of crises, especially economical and also other social problems. We will be able to decrease the unemployment rate. We'll be able to activate nearly 40 other industries. Tourism have got it is in an intangible industry that operates nearly 40 other industries that are connected to it. So if you encourage stakeholders, if you give them incentives, you will be able to encourage them more to market their services and what they present, and we'll be able to bring more inbound tourism. We'll be able to bring more more money into this country, more income. Touristic expenditures are going to increase. It is a time that the entire country should have this as a national project of reaching a target of having 30 million tourists by 2030. This is our ultimate target. Right now, our
actually waiting to 2030, that's so long. We are really in need of those 30 million.
It cannot happen overnight. However, I've spoken about this in several interviews before. All what we need to do is just to take it as a national project, and then every kind of entity, ministry to collaborate together to ease up the experience for the travelers. Because the better experience travelers have, and I said this dozens of times, the better experience travelers have, the better chances that they will always return and become repeated travelers. And this is what we need. No country in the world that is doing a marketing campaign for a destination that they do it for the exact same number every year. What they do is that they target new audience every year, and making sure that the audience that they've targeted the year before have had the opportunity to enjoy a better experience. So the more we focus on the experience, the more we ease up the way of access to tourists, the more we ease up, you know, richness and openness and the way how tourists are roaming freely and discovering several destinations within the country, that will be able to create a much better, more immersive experience for any traveler that he will always remember for a long time. He will go back home, he will be an ambassador for this destination, he will come and bring his friends and bring, you know, his acquaintance, and that's the ultimate goal. This is the way how how countries increase the number of their travelers, forging agreements with stakeholders internationally and locally that will help as well, increasing capacity of hotels and hotel rooms that are able to take more people, giving us permissions, you know, to lots of new medium-sized investors to open up 2 to 3 star hotels, you know, increasing capacity of room sizes. Today we have 210,000 rooms. In order to reach to that level of being able to accommodate 30 million tourists, we need at least 400,000 rooms of hotel capacity. Right now we only have that half of a capacity that can take in total around 17 million tourists. We haven't reached that number yet, but if we are going in the right track, we will need to build new rooms or new hotels every year. We will need to increase the capacity. We will need to increase the transportation fleet that we have at the country. We will need to create some extra touristic facilities for tourists to enjoy. It is not only about staying in a hotel or staying at a beach. You need to have other activities for tourists to enjoy. This enhances the experience. You need to open up more sites. You need to keep the sites operating for elongated periods of time. You need to open up every type of segments for tourism. This is not about only cultural tourism. You need to do beach tourism, cultural tourism, medical tourism, you know, healing tourism, any kind of tourism that it's up, you know, safaris, you know, bring it back into the track again. You need to introduce all types of tourism that you need to take care of religious tourism, you need to take care of, so you need to activate the entire scope of facilities across the country, because when you do that,
no. When you speak about we need, so I mean,
consider it as a, no. Consider it as
kind of tourism sectors.
We have when we say we need. This is like I'm putting a prescription, okay? And if we're talking, what is the strategy for bringing 30 million tourists? I would say the strategy is 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to take these steps in order to reach an ultimate goal. And these steps that I'm telling you about are the steps that can lead us into the right way. Increase the capacity, take care of there's no tourism without transportation, for example. Okay, yes. Capacity of airports right now cannot take 30 million tourists. So you need to increase the capacity of the airports. You need to enhance these airports. You need to take care of the mainstream airports and the side airports, especially in other cities. You need to increase their capacities. You need to also adopt an open sky policy. These things.
But Mr. Alaa, yes, we need to do indoor.
We're doing it right now. We're doing it. We are doing it slowly but surely. But what I'm saying is that, and I'm 100% sure that the support that Egypt, that the government is giving to the tourism sector is there, and I'm 100% sure because it is imperative that we take care of this. This is about time we take care of this industry, because other destinations have taken a lot of our market share for the last 10 years, and we need to get it back, and we need to get it back quickly as possible. We also need to get the right people at the right positions into this industry, because when you have the right trained people, you know, working at this industry, it makes a huge difference. We need to get the people who are doing the decision makers into this industry, are the right people to understand how important that tourism, that industry is, and how important, you know, making the right decision for this industry, how important to give the investors the right facilities and the right support, how we can intensify every property in this industry. It's important to do incentives in the tourism industry. This is how countries are developing their tourism. Other than this, then it's you can't do the same for the last 10, 20, 30, 50 years. You can't do the same experiment with the exact same ingredients. It will always give you the same results. You need to change the recipe. You need to change the way how you look at things. You need to change. You need to restudy the whole thing. You need to reshuffle the whole thing. This is like a full restructuring of the entire industry. If we if we give it that boost, if we take care of the touristic experience, if we give a better experience for our travelers, travelers themselves will bring us more and more. They will come back again. They will bring their friends. This will become a trend. This is what happened in every destination around the world. So I think that there are some drastic measures we need to take, and I think the government is starting to open up its arms, and that's why His Excellency the Prime Minister said just I think a week ago, he said, whatever the investors need, I'll do it. Whatever it takes to develop this industry, I'll do it, which is a great statement, because that shows how much they believe in this industry to be the train for the economy for the upcoming years.
Indeed. All that we need to do, since we are diversifying also our, or we have very diversity of tourism. That we have, as you said, respectively here, the medical, the religious, the entertainment, the cultural, all types,
all segments.
Indeed. But before we start with enhancing the capacity of the airports, the hotels, and all that, what are we doing in order to propagate Egypt in the first place, so we can really achieve the target of tourists that we are in need of? I mean, here campaigns that were made, how do you view those campaigns, the latest of which was towards green development of tourism sector? Many other campaigns that were raised before. How do you view such campaigns and how Egypt is propagated?
Tourism marketing campaigns for our destination has been running for years. And every couple of years they do a new campaign with a new theme, right? And what we are doing is that we're using something called the marketing mix in order to use and utilize every digital channels in these campaigns. And this is what I do when I build my own, marketing strategies for other destinations around the world. In my work, I do the exact same thing. I use the marketing mix, in order to get awareness and engagement and conversion for a specific destination, to raise awareness about a destination, to fuel this need of the traveler about when he's searching about the destination, that this is the right destination, that it should be there. Campaigns are systematically going well, but I would add to it, and if I may suggest, that the marketing message of these campaigns should be equivalent to the reality. So if we are going to put out a marketing message about a specific activity or a specific product or touristic product in a destination, then it has to be exactly equivalent to what we can see, what's happening on the ground. We don't have to show things like they are the best things, but we can show that there is more engagement with the culture. We can show that tourism are able to...
We don't have to show heaven.
Yeah, you don't have to show heaven, and then people come and just see half heaven.
In fact, it is heaven in a way or another.
Of course, but every country in the world is heaven in the eye of the beholder, heaven in the eye of the person who's living there, who belongs to this country. But for other people around the world, maybe it's not heaven. Maybe it's an exotic place. Maybe it's a desert place. Maybe it's a place with history, full of history. Maybe it's a place so hot and it's not so cold as he expected. So what I mean is, if we tune this marketing message and make it exactly similar to what people can get, like people go out in cafes, like people walk out in narrow streets, busy streets, people go around the hustle and bustle of the city, We don't have to show people like, hey, you can go and do a big adventure in the desert, while desert is off limits to tourists right now. What I mean is, you can really show that kind of a mixed message, and then it will make a better experience. The second thing also, I would say, you need to focus on destinations that are very close, within 3 to 5 hours of your reach.
Unfortunately, they're telling me that
Okay.
we're over.
All right.
So, Mr. Alaa, Khalifa, tourism and marketing expert, thank you so much for being
You're
with
welcome.
us
It's a pleasure.
tonight.
It's always a pleasure to be on the
our-
Daily Debate. Thank
always
you.
our pleasure.
Thank you.
I guess that takes us to the end of this episode, and tomorrow will be another important debate with another colleague. Good night.